Hi, my name is Monte Tilgner with the Iowa High School Athletic Association. This will be our week 9 training tape, and we got 10 plays to look at. Really some excellent job, excellent officiating, great rules knowledge, and good application of the rules and good judgment in this week's training tape. So let's start out with a couple plays from um, game Friday night. You can see this. We have fourth down. We have 1:07 left in the game. The team in purple is trailing, so they need to convert this fourth down. And what we're going to have here is a tipped pass. And I want to talk about when we can still have defensive pass interference or possibly defensive holding with the tip pass versus when we would want to not have that foul or we would pick up if we threw initially. Also, what else can a tipped pass mean? So let me hit on that first so I don't forget. If we have OPI hanging or we have ineligible player downfield hanging and we have a tipped pass, then that ball by rule has deemed to not have crossed the line of scrimmage. Even if it does continue to go beyond the line of scrimmage, by rule it's deemed not to. Therefore, you would not have IDP, you would not have OPI. Okay. Defensive pass interference, defensive holding is a little different. And it depends where the ball is tipped as well. So in this one, you can see that this ball is going to be tipped right there by number 8, and then we see a player on the ground behind. So if we go back and look, we want to definitely have a time delay between the foul and that ball later being tipped before we would want a defensive hold or defensive pass interference call. And right now, we really don't have anything. Right about now, we probably have some restriction, and you can see if I go real speed, there's really no delay in time between when that possible contact occurs and when the ball is tipped. So therefore, the crew did a great job. They came together, they talked about it, and it was decided that that ball was tipped about the same time as the contact, and therefore they picked up the flag. A huge play in the game. The opponents just had to down it a couple times to win the game. Crew did a nice job of explaining it to the coaches, and the coaches understood. And so it's always good when that happens as well. Next play here, we're going to have. Oh, let me go back. So when we would leave that flag on the ground would be, let's say that we would have a defensive hold, like right now. He's just touching him, but if he would be grabbing him and restricting him right now, then we would have a defensive hold. And even though that ball was tipped later, we would want that to be on the ground. If the ball is in the air, like right now, if the ball's in the air just out of his hand and we have a definite defensive pass interference, and then this much later, the ball, oops, sorry, I did not want the arrows, trying to hit the play button. This much later, that ball is tipped, then we would have it. But in this case, the contact which rises to the level of a foul occurs just prior to that ball being tipped, and therefore we would not want to have a flag. Next play we've got is just understanding the rules and being able to explain them to coaches can really de-escalate a situation. So we have really good rules knowledge here by the crew. So we do not have illegal personal contact against an offensive player. And remember, the reasons why we would not would be they're making a play on the ball and we have contact, the wrap-up tackle, then we have contact, and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the third one. Contact and wrap-up. I think it's just not forcible, but anyway, you can look that up. I don't want to start this training tape over again. I already did that once. So anyway, this one here does a good job. We have a lot of contact. We have a good contact, but it's a legal. It is legal, not a foul, because he wraps up. And you can see it's going to occur right here. So if I go in slow motion, big time hit, but he wraps up. And you can see here's our coach, and he is losing his mind at the moment. And he's coming down, and he's like, why? And you can see our official right there just did his second job of showing that he wrapped up. And he explains it to the coach, and the coach then understands, and we don't have an issue. We don't have any unsportsmanlike or anything like that against the coach. So when we understand the rules and can explain it to the coaches properly, it can really diffuse possibly volatile situations. So good job again by the crew. Next play, we've got scrimmage kick rules. This is a crazy one, but again, rules knowledge. What is the difference if the kick crosses the neutral zone or it does not cross the neutral zone? So you can see our neutral zone here, if I move this out of the way, is the 34-yard line. We got a snap that goes over the kicker's head. He recovers it. He kicks it. And the ball ends up being fielded by a kicking team player at the 32-yard line. So we are 2 yards behind the neutral zone. If we know the rule well, we know that that ball doesn't cross the neutral zone. Team A can pick it up and they can advance it. They could pass it. They could kick it again. But in this case, we're pretty quick here by our umpire of just killing this play. All right, now, if you deemed that, let me go back. I think we're all right, because if you deem that this player has given up, then we want to kill it, because only bad things are going to happen. But we do need to know that if he would pick this up and start running with it, we don't want to whistle. We don't want to kill it. But he definitely gives himself up here. So I'm good with this. I like the fact that we have delay before we have the killing the clock there. One thing mechanically I want to talk about, really no reason for our line judge, our headline judge top of the screen, just hold that line of scrimmage, because you're one who can help out on that. Our referee's already back there to be able to help out with what's going to happen back there with the ball. So, but overall handled very well by the crew. Two excellent examples of when we do not have intentional grounding. So remember, intentional grounding is a crew call. There's a lot of things to consider, and we need to know all these things, because this is a really big call. It's a 5 yard from the spot of the illegal forward pass and a loss of down. So we know that new rule was put in a couple years ago. I think it was several years ago, that if the quarterback gets outside the free blocking zone, he can legally ground the ball if he gets it beyond the extended line of scrimmage. So our line of scrimmage is a 29. If we take a look, our free blocking zone would be, about here if I go from where that tackle is. And if we watch, the quarterback is going to get outside of that area. He's definitely outside of that on that pass. So all he has to do is get that ball beyond the line of scrimmage extended, which he does, goes out of bounds there at the 50, and therefore we do not have intentional grounding. So you can just get on the 020, and if you know that he's outside the tackle box, then you can make that announcement to the referee. If you don't know, then on a play like this, there's really no receiver in the area. This ball goes so far over these two receivers' heads that we would not say that that is in the area of those receivers. We don't have any other receiver in the area. So if the line of scrimmage official or the back judge would have came into the referee here and said, I've got no one in the area, then the referee has the second part of it and is to say, that's okay. The ball was thrown, beyond the line of scrimmage, out of bounds, and the quarterback or the passer was outside the free blocking zone. And then if you have a field, make that announcement. Another example of this on this particular play. So if as a wing, this is a time when you do not need to go into the R with the information. You seize out, on this one, you obviously seize outside the free blocking zone, and you yourself know the ball crossed the line of scrimmage, the extended line of scrimmage. So you can just get on the 020 and tell the referee that ball made it past the line of scrimmage, so there's no foul for intentional grounding, and then he can make that announcement. So very good job here in understanding what we have which is not intentional grounding on the play. Next play here is a good call for defensive holding. We've not had a lot of these this year, but this is a very good job. And it's a correct call, I believe, made by our back judge. There, our flag comes in from our back judge. I really like it that our back judge got this because our back judge actually is going to be his initial responsibility is going to be at the top of the formation with trips up there. So he continues and just officiates this play, and he's peeking at that quarterback probably since everyone's kind of free of foul and sees that defensive hold there. And remember, to have defensive holding, we want to have enough restriction, which we definitely do, and then we want that to look back and make sure that step 2 of the two-step process for de-hold is that quarterback is still upright and has the ball. If he would have been tackled by this guy here, then we do not have that time between the hold and the ball being dead. But in this case, he's still upright, looking downfield. So excellent call for defensive holding. Let's talk about the penalty enforcement. We have an incomplete pass, so we are going to go 10 yards from the previous spot. We snap it from position 4, it looks like, at the what is that, the 36-yard line. So we're going to go 10 yards from position 4 up to the 46, and it looks like it's not an automatic first down, but that's going to put us at the line to gain, so the penalty would result in a first down. Excellent job by the crew. This is an interesting one. Passer fumble on a legal hit of the passer. So we take a look here, and this quarterback, or this passer, I should say, he has started his motion of the pass forward. Okay, then he gets hit. So if his arm is going forward and the ball is secured and his arm is going forward, we will have a pass. All right. That doesn't mean it will be a forward pass. In this case, what happens is it ends up that this pass goes backward. Okay, so we do have a pass. We don't have a fumble because his arm is going forward and the ball was secured in that arm when it was going forward. But that just means we'll have a pass, not a fumble. That pass in this case is backward and goes out of the back of the end zone. Therefore, by rule, we would have a safety. Now, obviously, we'd have a safety if we ruled fumble as well. But just understanding the rule of when we have a pass, the ball in firm control of the hand and the arm going forward. But that just means we're going to have a pass. The pass could be forward or could be backward. In this case, it was backward. So you can see our referee is signaling incomplete. So I'm not sure if they talked about this one, but now we know what the rule should be. All right, correct call for KCI on a pooch kick here, and just handled really well by the crew. So you can see we've got a couple guys. When we see a pooch, we want to look for guys signaling, and we will actually get on the O2O during the play and say fair catch signal. So right now, if someone sees this, just get on the O2O fair catch signal. All right, and then everyone is a little more aware that he needs to have that unimpeded opportunity to make that catch. We actually have 2 guys who signal for a catch here, and you can see that they're being contacted before they definitely secure that ball. So this is definitely one that we would have kick catch interference. You can see a flag comes in here from our line judge. This is one where we would want, with this being a fair catch that was completed, we would not need to wind the clock. This would be one where no time would come off the clock. But good call, good communication by the crew. Next play is correct judgment and rules knowledge for this is another one involving a fair catch signal. This is one player signaling for a fair catch and another one makes the fair catch. It's no foul. We just shut it down. We actually had this in my college game this weekend as well. Um, and instead of the team getting the ball in college at the 25-yard line, since one player signaled and the one who caught it did not signal, then they ended up getting the ball at the 5 instead of the 25. But we don't have that rule in high school, but we do have the rule that if one player signals for a fair catch, which this player right here did, then if anybody possesses that ball by team R, the ball is going to be dead. So you can see different guy picked it up, fielded it at the 45. He starts to run with it. He doesn't know that his teammate called a fair catch, signal fair catch. So we're just going to kill it. You can see we're starting to kill it right here. Hammer on that whistle, shut this baby down as quick as we can, which we do a good job of, so we don't have extracurricular activity going on there. And just very good rules knowledge. He's right where he caught it. This is one you want to get on the 020 and let your referee know what you have, and then referee make an announcement that a fair catch signal was given by a receiving team player. Therefore, the ball's dead when it is fielded by any receiving team player. So everyone knows exactly what happened. Screw had a lot of crazy stuff this weekend, but did an excellent job. And this is outstanding rules knowledge. We haven't seen this year, so I'm really happy to see this. This is the momentum exception. And the momentum exception, look it up, is when you have a ball that is caught or recovered, and their original momentum inside the 5-yard line, and the original momentum takes them into the end zone, and the ball becomes dead there. And if that happens, it's called the momentum exception. So we're going to bring the ball out to where he possessed it. So you can see here, and don't nitpick this. It's like, oh, well, he first touched it at the 6 maybe, so he doesn't get them. No. When he really possesses this ball, you can see he bobbled it, is looking like the 3 or the 2-yard line. His momentum takes him into the end zone. He gets tackled. It wouldn't matter if he got tackled or if he downed it or fumbled it and went out of the back of the end zone. If the ball becomes dead in the end zone and he possessed it outside the end zone, inside the 5, and his original momentum takes him in the end zone, ball becomes dead there, we go to that spot. So excellent job. Our back judge is in perfect position to see this action. That's exactly what we want. The only thing that could have been better is we want to beanbag a momentum exception. I don't know that we did. Maybe he dropped one. You can see he's killing the clock. He's going to the 2-yard line. And now you can see he's on the 020 already. He's got his hand on his 020, and he's explaining to our referee who's coming down what he has. And we definitely would want to make an announcement if we have a field mic saying that the ball was possessed at the 2-yard line. Momentum carried him into the end zone. Ball became dead. By rule, the ball we placed at the 2-yard line, first down. But excellent job again by the crew in this situation. All right, it looks like that is our plays. I think this is our first one. Yep. So a lot of just excellent officiating going on. We've got playoffs starting for all levels this week. So congratulations if you received a playoff game. And if you did not, something to continue to work for. And hopefully you'll get one in the future. But we will continue the training throughout the playoffs. And just good luck. Keep working hard. And we'll talk to you again next week.